Hello, my name is Cindy Coman, and I'm one of the librarians at the Dwight Marvin Library here at Hudson Valley. This video is going to explain how to find a sports journal article. There are a number of things that we're going to cover. We will find the library's databases where they're located. We are going to use searching techniques to find information on our topic. We will create keywords for our topic, and we will use the tools functions in the databases to assist us with retrieval of the articles once we have found them. And above all, we are going to learn how to ask for help when we get stuck or we do not remember what we need to do next. So first, let's go to the library's databases. As you can see here, I've already navigated myself to the main Hudson Valley page. From here, we're going to go to the black bar in the top, and we're going to click on Library. Then we're going to scroll down to the purple box here in the middle where it says Find Sources from the Dwight Marvin Library. From here, we can actually do a search right here in OneSearch, which searches all of our databases. But for this exercise, I would like to go to the Database Finder at the black bar in the top. I've highlighted it in green, so I'm going to click here. Once we're here, we're then going to choose Academic Search. We're selecting Academic Search because it covers all general subjects and would be most relevant for a search for a journal article at this time. Once I click on that, I get into the database, and we will also have some options to choose additional databases when we're further into the searching. So now we are going to identify some keywords and searching techniques that we'll use inside this database. Here are some searching techniques that can be used in the library databases and in Google. So the first technique is called truncation, and this is where you take a root word and you add an asterisk or star at the end of that root word, and you get different endings to that word. So in my example, I have sport, and I can get sportsman or sports. I also have treat, and I can get treatment or treated. Notice in these examples that the root word is a full word. Sometimes it will not be a full word and just an abbreviated part of a word, as it only needs to be a portion of that word, as long as that word has different endings. Our next technique is Boolean, and so these are our and or connecting terms. So and connects terms together, and you will find all of the words in the results, as in sports and injury. Or we'll find synonyms to a word, and will also give you both options. So you're going to get either or word in the results, as in my example, treatment or therapy. Treatment is a synonym of therapy, and vice versa. Next, we have phrase searching, which searches our words together. So in my example, I have sports injury or sports medicine. These quotation marks glue the two words together so that they show up together in your results. It is recommended not to use more than two words in a phrase because that phrase actually has to exist in a journal article, and if it doesn't, you're not going to find what you're looking for. So 2 words are best. And lastly, we have the advanced, which is the combining of the techniques. So in my example, I have sports medicine in quotation marks and injury and lacrosse. And in my other example, I have injury and sports and treat with my truncation star, so I can get treated, treatment, treatments with an S. And next, we're going to select our keywords. In order to select keywords, we need to have a topic. So in my sample question, I have, what are the treatments to common injuries for athletes that play lacrosse? So what would be some of my keywords that I would want to use from my question that I would plug into the databases? This is the most challenging part of searching, to figure out what you're going to look up. So here's some samples. Treatments, that's my question, that works. Athletes, that's also in my question, that could work. Wounds. Wounds is a similar term to injuries. Sprained ankle is a type of injury. Common. Common is in my question and relevant because we don't want any and all injury. We want the common injuries. So we're going to want to use that as a key term. Lacrosse, that's the sport we're looking at. So we also could just use the general sports. We could use injuries again in our question. And therapy. Therapy is a synonym to treatment, so that would work as well. So all of these terms are an option for us to do our searching in the databases. All right, let's begin searching. Here I am back at the academic search database. So I'm going to add in some search terms. Okay, my first term that I'm going to use is lacrosse. So that is my sport that I'm concerned about. Next, I'm going to use treatment. Next, I'm going to use injuries. And I have one other thing I want to add. So I'm going to have to click on the plus button so I can add that term. And I'm going to put in common. Okay, so I click on search and see what I get. I have 571 articles, which could be useful to me. So a recommendation is to look at the entire first page. There are 20 articles on the first page, so it's recommended to look at all of them. Because you never know, you might find something of interest instead of looking at the first 5. Okay, so back to the top. If I find something that I like, that's great. If I find something that I want to change, I can modify my search terms that I'm circling up here in the corner. And I can change, say, injuries. I'm going to change injuries to truncation. Injuries, injured, injury, singular, and see what I get. I also feel that lacrosse is very important to me in this particular search. So I want to actually take that and put it into the title. So I go ahead and do that, and then I click on search. And I only get 5. So now I've narrowed myself down a little bit too much. However, men's lacrosse injuries sustained during the 2010 World Championships could be something of interest to me. So that could work, and this could also work. Epidemiology of head, face, and eye injuries to female lacrosse players in Australia. So notice, when you add terms or change them, or when you add a field, that is what I did in the title, your search gets smaller. If you want to change it back, just select a field optional, and then you're back to the beginning. Let's talk a little bit about the other databases that we can use from this page. We're going to go to Show Databases, which is at the top next to our academic search. So we click on this, and we have a number of things to choose from. So I'm going to select Sports Discus, which is dedicated to sports. Then I think I'm going to select Sinal, which is dedicated to health, and Medline, which is also dedicated to health. And you probably wouldn't really actually know this at the moment, but these two databases are health databases. And I think that's it for right now, and I'll hit OK. Okay, my search then starts over. However, I do not lose my terms, and I can hit search. All right. Now, because I've added databases, I have many more articles, and I can also go down and scroll down on my right-hand side and see what articles are coming from what database. So it might be useful to me just to look at the ones from Sports Discus, which is fine. Then I've clicked on that and I'm looking only at these. Or I would like to look at everything. At this moment, I'm going to look at everything. Okay. So I'm going to go with this first article. So if I like this article, I'm going to make sure I read the abstract. It's very important to read this. If you do not understand it, you will not be able to use your article because the article full text is just going to be more in depth. My full text is over here on the left-hand side in PDF or sometimes HTML full text as well. And then I also have my tools on the right-hand side. The tools I'm going to highlight are the email. You can email an article to yourself. The citing feature. So you can select your style of citation, APA, and then MLA is in here as well. And then just copy and paste this into your document. And there also is the permalink. This is very important. If you want to create a link to this particular article, you need to copy this link and paste it into your browser and then bookmark it. You cannot bookmark this link because it will just give you the basic search page at the beginning, because after 20 minutes, it cancels out and starts over a new session. So you would come here, copy this link, and then you can immediately open a new tab and paste that link in, go to the page, which will take me directly to the article, and then I can bookmark this. And I've got it. Okay, that was very brief and very quick, but I do hope that you have picked up a few tips while watching this. Lastly, I want to let you know that the Ask a Librarian page is located everywhere. Please look for the icon pop-up chat box that does show up in OneSearch and the library databases while you're searching. It is on the home page, and it is also here located at this link as seen in this slide. Thank you for viewing, and if you need any assistance searching, please contact us.